My name is Edison and I live in Aiea. Aiea is just outside of Honolulu, Hawaii. I was about 45 years old when I learned this, and I learned this when I was watching a hypnotist show. I learned about hypnotism. I was at this show and I was watching the hypnotist show, and I was watching students participate. They volunteered to be hypnotized, and I thought the show was very fun. It seemed like everybody was enjoying themselves, and the students were doing some pretty strange things. And while the show was going on, the hypnotist explained about hypnotism, and I learned three things about hypnotism. The first thing that I learned was that you have to be willing to be hypnotized before you can be hypnotized. If you're not willing, then you're not going to be hypnotized. The second thing that I learned was that a hypnotist never asks people to do things. A hypnotist has to tell them to do things. And they tell them in different ways. Sometimes they command them. Other times they just ask for their cooperation and tell them to do it. But they never ask people to do things. And the third thing that I learned was that many people, after they're hypnotized, they don't really remember that they were hypnotized. They can't recall. And the example that the hypnotist gave was that she would do therapeutic hypnotism with people, and she would have it videotaped, because sometimes people, after they were hypnotized, didn't believe it would happen. It happened. So at one time the person took the check and ripped the check up. So when she did the therapeutic hypnotism, she videotaped it. I think this was fun for me, because after this first time that I saw a hypnotist show, I've seen a number of hypnotist shows, and just knowing that helped me to really appreciate the way that the hypnotist conducted the show. And I've seen about 5 or 6 different hypnotists, and I've seen maybe about 20 shows, and I enjoy it more because I understand how hypnotism works. But every time you see a show, it's always a new experience.